Thanks for joining. Day number 7, our agenda is to understand control policy, and then we'll go and check this control policy lab as well. Now, what we can do with this control policy, you will see there are so many different types of use cases that we can go and utilize this control policy, and we can build and we can complete. Control policy, as we know earlier, that control policy is nothing but the routing policy, centralized routing policy actually. So that means that the CAE, configure, apply and execution, will be happen at the level of vSmart. Obviously over vManage GUI. So we'll go to vManage GUI. We'll create the policy with help of netconf. We'll go and push this to vSmart, and vSmart will go and use OMP to propagate this policy to different V edges. So this is the flow that we have, that we will check that how it is working. Now, before going there, before starting this policy, let's do one thing. Let's go and understand the policy building block here. You can see the policy building block we have, and this policy building block. So let me copy this so we can utilize this building block in our training. So you can see that we have policy building block, and within this policy building block, first of all, we have to go and define the list interesting traffic. First of all, that what we want to achieve with this policy, with this control policy. So our target is this, that we should go and learn this control policy. Later on, we will check this data policy. So we are going to focus on CP, control policy, and either it's a control policy or data policy, the building block of the policy will be the same. The difference here is this, that the control policy will be unidirectional. So when we'll go and apply this policy, we have to go and apply this in the either in to out or out to in. We'll check that direction. That is the one thing we need to consider. Apart from that, if we go and see that policy building block, you will see that policy building block will be like this only, that it will start with policy and then sequence and match, take action, match, take action. Likewise, the policy building block will work. So first of all, let's discuss about the use case, that what exactly we want to achieve, and then we'll go here and we'll edit the policy. Okay, so let me quickly go and copy the topology as well. We have a nice topology. This is very much our lab topology. So I will go and copy this lab topology, and we'll understand that what we want to achieve first, and with the control policy, how we can achieve that. So let's see, and I'll change the heading. So heading is control policy, and today let's start with multi-topology control policy. Control policy. Multi-topology control policy. What does it mean? What's the use case of this? Let's try to understand that use case related to this. Now, multi-topology control policy, and I'll go and remove all these routes that we have, but we know that what's the use of these OMP routes. Let's focus on the topology and try to understand that what exactly we want to achieve from this particular topology. Send to back. Let me remove these. Okay, so we have this type of topology, and in this topology, we know that by default, this particular topology is if you go and see the IPsec tunnel, this will be by default, this will be any to any, that any branch can have the IPsec tunnel with any of the branch, or any of the branch can have the IPsec tunnel with any of the data center devices. Like that, we have any to any, like all in all type of multi-topology IPsec tunnels. Like we have any to any IPsec tunnel that we have. Now, what we want to achieve here, so we want to achieve something that our data center, first of all. So first of all, let's go and see that what type of VPN we have. So here you can see that we have VPN 10, VPN 20, VPN 40. So let me write here that we have VPN 10 dedicated, VPN 10 dedicated for corp. Suppose this is corp VPN, corporate traffic VPN. And then we have VPN 20, that is for credit card or card information, suppose PCI or PCI VPN, like that we have. Then we have VPN 40, that is actually for guest. This is for guest VPN. Like that, we have the segmentation here. Now, multi-topology means what? Multi-topology means here that for VPN 10, your topology, so we have fixed underlay, like fixed hardware, IP, fixed hardware, their interfaces, connections, and all those things. Like we have fixed underlay. On top of that underlay, we want different type of overlay strategy. So for example, if I go and choose color blue for corporate VPN, so the corporate VPN, and for corporate VPN, what we will do, that corporate VPN traffic from any of the branch, and let me go and choose the blue background as well. So let me draw. So for corporate VPN, my branch traffic, not like this, my branch traffic should go to firewall, and then it can go to any of the other location. So my IPsec tunnel should not behave like it should go to branch to branch. It should not be like this, branch to branch. I don't want this branch to branch, blue color. My traffic should go to the firewall, and it will reach to the other side. Can I make this little bit? I think this is the max that I can do. Okay, so you can see the traffic flow. This blue color is for VPN. This is for VPN 10. VPN 10, and what VPN 10 is doing, that branch traffic should go to DC, then other branches. That's the condition. We know that we have IPsec tunnel, but this IPsec tunnel should follow this set strategy within VPN 10. Go to firewall, then go to any other location. Now, what about this VPN 20? Now, on the other hand, VPN 20, I'll go and use color green, or maybe, okay, green, or maybe some other color, maybe red. So we can see that. Now, for this VPN 20, the traffic should be any to any. Any to any, that means my IPsec tunnel go direct, go direct. They should have any to any type of IPsec tunnel. That is the default we have, any to any. Or to make this interesting, IPsec tunnel should follow hub and spoke. Hub and spoke means for VPN 20. So for VPN 20, let me go and use the color green for that, the write-up. So VPN 20 traffic follow hub and spoke traffic pattern. Right, so now you can see that although we have different types of VPN, we have VPN 10, 20, 40, but VPN 10 traffic redirection or traffic pattern is different than VPN 20. VPN 10, first of all, it has to hit to the firewall and then it has to go anywhere. Although other hand, VPN 20 should have hub and spoke type of a strategy. Okay, so how we can achieve this? How we can do this? How we can do this? You know, we know that in SD-WAN, everything we have to control from vSmart. And vSmart, when they are receiving the routes, right? When they are receiving the routes, they are receiving the routes with next hop. So if somehow I can go to VPN 20, right? And if I set the next hop towards the data center, that means all traffic of VPN 20 throughout the branches will go towards the data center first, right? So let me start with this strategy. Let me start with this thing. Let me do one thing first. Or maybe diagram either this side, the right up maybe. So first of all, we'll go and build the logic. Logic will be, let's see the logic, how this logic will work. And then we'll configure. Logic will be for VPN, first of all, for VPN 10, what I want to do to achieve this. So for VPN 10, why not let me cut this. Oops, why it is like this. Anyways, let me go and write the strategy for VPN 10. So for VPN 10, why not we'll match the route for VPN 10, all routes for VPN 10. All routes means it will be 0, 0, 0, 0, /0 and less than /32, like matching all the prefixes from VPN 10, matching all the routes VPN 10, and then in the action, why not set this towards the firewall IP. Firewall IP maybe 10.1.10.100. We'll see that, but assume that this is firewall IP, right? Very easy, straightforward programming. And if you are doing some Python programming and all, even in the programming language also, we are writing the code like this. Everything is object, and programming languages are very much nowadays human language. Okay, so then what about VPN 20? Same thing, see, match all the route for VPN 20, all routes for VPN 20, again 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 /0 less than the prefix less than 32. And in the action, set this towards the DC TLOC list, right? And what is DC TLOC list? DC TLOC list will be It's very easy. T-lock means what? We know that T-lock is system IP, color, and encapsulation. And what is the system IP for DC? Suppose DC1, 1, VH1. What's the system IP? 10.1.0.1. And then color. We have two different color. One is biz internet and other one is the MPLS. Encapsulation will be always IPsec for all these, right? So what we can do that the T-lock will be so one T-lock list will be like this, MPLS, and then for DC okay, I think this will be alone. Then what you have? Then you have T-lock. Then we have to go and create the T-lock for DC1 VH, suppose VH2, and for that the T-lock will be here. You have to give the system IP of that, and then the biz internet, and then here you have dot 2 and MPLS like that. No, like that we have to go and create the policy. So why not let's go to the devices and create such type of control policy. We'll understand more. Even if I go to the vManage dashboard and create such type of policy, we'll see that it is easier that what we are doing here. Even in the dashboard it is much easier. How? Let's go. So here we are. Let's go to the vManage dashboard. Go to the menu. Oops, 1 second. So go to the menu. Once you're there, then go to the configuration and the policies. Centralized policy you want to create? Yes. Add policy. The first one is the list. Okay. So what you want? You want color? No. Data? No. Prefix? Yes. Data prefix? No. This is not a data policy. I don't want this. Prefix? You need this prefix? Yes, actually I need this prefix where I want to match all the routes. So I'll go say match all routes, and here I will go and give the prefix 0000 slash 0 and less than slash 32. So 0 to 32 has some, oh, we should not give slash 32, we should give only 32. Match all the routes. So let's see. So 0000 slash 0 and LE32. So that is okay. This it will take. So bottom you can see that we have one route list created. Then site where you want to apply this policy. I want to apply this policy to all the branches. To all the branches. And for all the branches, do we have the site ID? Yes, for branches we have site ID 300 and 400. Or if you want the range from 300 to 400, that also you can take it. So below I have to all the branches. Then where you want to apply this policy means which is the VPN you are interested in. So we have the VPN list here. You can see VPN. I can go and create the VPN list to VPN 10. This is corp VPN. What is corporate VPN 10? And then I want to create one more VPN that will be to VPN 20, right? 20, and this is PCI. This VPN 20. So you can see how easily we are creating the VPN list. Now I told you that for VPN 20, we want to redirect the traffic towards the data center next hop. So we will create the data center next hop, say towards DC next hop, which is nothing but the T-logs. So what you need? You need system IP 10.1.0.1, color and encapsulation. So color will be say with internet and the encapsulation is IPsec. Like that, we have system IP. This time color is, and then the other system IP 10.10.2 should be 2, color and encapsulation. Oops, it should be MPLS, color and encapsulation, and finally 10.1.0.2, this time MPLS and save. So now you can see that we have the inter-string traffic where we have the VPN, where we have the T-log, where we have the site, where we have the prefix. Now we'll go next and create the actual control policy. So control policy will be part of topology. You can go and add the topology, custom made topology. This is multi-topology VPN 10, or maybe for Corp and PCI VPNs. So now sequence type, see sequence type and match statement, match and take action. I want to match the route. Match the route for what? Match the route for, now we can go and select the prefix and VPN. So match the route for all the routes. For VPN 10. So VPN 10, and then what action? Action that accept, on top you can see reject and accept. Accept what you want. This route should be going towards the firewall. So you can see one option here called service. You can click to the service and the firewall, and the firewall is in which VPN 10. Let me quickly show you this. So if we go here and go to DC1 VH1, and if you type show run VPN 10, you will see that within VPN 10 we have firewall 10.1, 10, 200. So just give the firewall and the VPN and it will work. Save this policy. Now one policy is saved for VPN 10. Then again I can click sequence tool one more time. This time I want to match what you want to match. This time we want to match the VPN and the prefix list. VPN will be 20 and the prefix list will be all, match all routes. What you want to do with this? With this, I want to take action except T-lock. This time the T-lock is towards the data center next hop. Save this. So now we have two conditions here. Condition 1 and condition 2 that you can see, 1 and 2. And then these are the part of sequence 1, sequence 2, and then we have default action. Default action, rest all of the VPNs, why not they will follow the default like any. So I will do that. Save the control policy. Now you will see that our control policy saved. Now the final stage, we have to go and apply this policy. So in this list, you can see that first you have to define the interesting traffic, then you have to go and define the control policy, then you have the data policy, and finally you can apply it. At the moment, we don't have any data policy, so we'll go next. Apply this policy, policy name. So let's go and give this, see, multi-topology for corp and PCI. Like that, we'll give the name for the policy that we want to apply. I told you earlier that since this is the control policy, in this policy, we have only one control policy at the moment, and we should specify the direction, either it's in or out. So this will be control policy. Since it is bidirectional, we have to give the direction of the policy. So we'll go here and choose the outbound towards all the branches, and then click add, and we can click preview, so we can see the CLI. So we are creating the topology route sequence 1, match the route for all the prefixes for VPN 10 and sending towards the firewall. 11, matching everything, sending towards the next hop. Default action accept. This is my prefix list. This is the list of the branches. This is my TLOC list. This is VPN 10 list. This is VPN 20 list. This is the apply policy. So you can see all three phases here. We have discussed this earlier that in policy building, you have a step 1, 2, 3. So step number 1, that you should go and define the interesting traffic. So that interesting traffic is actually here. Oops, from this prefix list. This is actually 1. All the list that we have, actually this is 1. The apply is actually 3. And rest, when we are defining the policy, that will be 2 actually. So 1 is that defining the list, and 2 will be that either your control policy or your data policy, what type of policy you have, and 3 will be apply it, apply that policy. Okay, so like that we have done this. Now this policy is there. Let's go and save this. Now this policy is there, but is this policy is in action? The answer is no. You have to go and activate this policy. So for this policy, I have to go, the bottom one is ours, 2nd of March. The 3 dots are there, and click activate. Now before activating this policy, let's verify something. So we'll go to VSmart 1. Try to log in here. Show run policy. So you will see that there is nothing there because it is not pushed yet from vManage to VSmart. It is not there. That's one thing. Second thing, that what's the default behavior of the branches. So let's go to branch number 2 and see the IPsec tunnels and the traffic flow. Let me open one branch 1 as well. So we'll see that. Show IP int brief. This is CSR Cisco device, so IP int brief will work. So for VPN 10, we have IP this 10.3.10.2, and for VPN 20, we have this IP 10.3.22. So if I go to 10.3.10.2, if I trace route from VPN 10, you will see this is just the next hop before applying the policy. Or if you go and check show IPsec inbound connection or outbound connection. So how we can go and check these connection? So you will see that that I am on branch number 2 VH1. So your system IP, what is your system IP? So my system IP is this, the local T-lock. What is the local T-lock? Is my IP, suppose I am branch number 2. So my IP will be this T-lock. So from this T-lock, at the moment you can see that I have IPsec tunnel with data center. With this T-lock, you can see I have IPsec tunnel with branch. So DC1 VH1, DC1 VH2, branch 1 VH1, branch 1 VH2 or CS2, and then likewise I have tunnel over all the transport, MPLS and internet, right? So I have, before applying the policy, I have any to any IPsec tunnel. Either you can check like this or you can check like this, IPsec outbound connection, either inbound or outbound. So if I am branch number 2, my system IP here, it is not telling my system IP, it is telling the tunnel IP, but you can see the remote IP. So I have IPsec tunnel with the data center with the branch 1, data center and branch 1. Okay. And even the trace route, you can see the trace route going via one hop. And if I go and do the trace route for VPN 20, as 10.3.20.2, when VPN 20 is much more directed, right? Now let's do one thing. Let's go and activate the policy. So here I am. Let's go and activate. Now you can see that vManage is pushing that policy to both the vSmart, and from vSmart it will go to the devices, all the branches. So now if we go here and see vSmart, if you see the policy, now you can see the policy. Since this is not a data policy, if you go and check show policy from vSmart, you will not see anything because this is control policy, not downloaded by the edge device. But now if you go and see the traffic pattern for first and second trace route, see what is this IP? This is the firewall IP. Then it is going reaching towards the other side because VPN 10 is going towards the firewall and then the destination. Now if you go and check the other traffic pattern, this is first it is going to data center and then it is going to the other branch. So now you can see multi-topology is in action. Now you can see that VPN 10, it's going towards the firewall and then other branch. But on the other hand, VPN 20 going towards DC and then other branch. So same type of underlay you have, in that you are creating multiple topology, right? Like that we can segment the traffic, segment the entire VPN traffic with same fixed hardware, underlay is same, but the overlay we are segmenting. Right? You have any question on this?
No, I'm good. Like, I just gonna need to practice in the lab. But like it's the logic and everything is I'm fine with it.
All right. So this is the policy slide that you have. Now, if you go and see, check this, you will understand everything. All those things you'll understand. So what we have done, we took one example related to control policy, multi-topology in action. Obviously, later on, we have to understand data policy as well. But now I want to show you one more example related to, see, the preferred data center is there. Actually, this is very easy. I'll come back to this. But before doing that, I want to give you an example related to extranet policy. So what is this extranet policy? First of all, let me go to the whiteboard. So now we understood this. Phase 1 done. We have completed this successfully. We understood this. Now what I will do, that there is one very interesting policy we have that we can go and take example here. So let me go a little bit below so I can explain you this particular policy. Now the second example that we are going to take here is extranet policy or route leak. In other words, extranet policy or route leak policy. So very interesting how it will be. Try to understand. Now we know that we have different type of segments. We know that we have a VPN 10 and VPN 20, but will this VPN 10 and 20, they will communicate to each other? The answer is no, right? They will not communicate to each other, VPN 10 and 20. Why? Because they are different VRF. Until unless we do some export import within their address families, they are not communicating. So that means if VPN 10 wants to communicate with VPN 20, we have to take those routes and then we have to export. So point here is this, that when we are talking about leaking policy, so VPN 10 should leak or export towards VPN 20. Likewise, VPN 20 should go and export towards VPN 10, vice versa, right? So we'll go and create such type of example, such type of policy, and it is there in this document as well. If you go and see that extranet policy, simply take the policy and export. That's it. See, go to VPN, match the route with that particular VPN, and export to the other VPN and vice versa, and that's it. Now, this is kind of interesting. I told you earlier that the flow of policy, the apply policy is very interesting. Suppose this is my VS Smart and this is my VH1 and this is my VH2, or one of the branch 1 and branch 2. Suppose a VS Smart 1, suppose this is branch 1 and suppose this is branch 2. Point here is this, that we have two direction. We have direction, say inward and outward. When we apply the policy, we are applying the policy in towards the VS Smart and out towards the VS Smart. You will see that extranet is a kind of only kind of policy, or there are very few policy type extranet policy which we are applying towards the VS Smart. You can see the direction is in. Rest of everything will be as it is, that what we want to achieve. Since this is extranet policy, route leak policy, we're applying towards the VS Smart. Let's do this. Now, before going anywhere, can I go and verify this thing here in the VH? So if I am in the VH, if I go and check show OMP routes for VPN 10 and in this do VPN 10 and do I have 10.3.20.2 or 0/24? You can see here, right? I'm unable to see within VPN 10 routing table or OMP table. within 10 OMP VRF 10, I am not seeing 20 route. What is this 20 route? 20 route is this 10.3.20.2. 10.3.20.2. So let me quickly go and check. Do I have 10? 0/24, maybe 0. So you can see I have 10 routes. So within same VPN, I am receiving the same VPN route, but I am not receiving the other VPN. 10 is not receiving 20. It will not. By default, it is blocked, right? So until unless we'll do the route leaking, it will not work. Now, can we go and create such type of route leak policy? Let's see. So let's go here. The same flow. I can go here to the configuration and policies. Now already we have one policy. You can see, right? Already we have one policy. This is the policy. Under that we have one control policy. So can I go and edit this policy or add one more policy? We have this policy. Can I go and create one control policy and append in this? Yes, you can do this. You can see on top, we have something called custom option, right? Custom option is there on top. If you go here, you can see centralized policy, localized policy. At the moment, leave this localized policy. Within centralized policy, go to topology, add topology, custom, what's the name? See, route leak within VPN 10 and VPN 20. That's my policy name. Okay. What do you want? I want to match the route. I want to match the route for all the VPN and prefix list. So I want to match VPN 10 for all the routes. And then I want to take action except export to. Here you can see this option, export to. Export to where? 20. Save. And then I have to reverse this logic. Reverse this logic. So I have this copy button here. I can copy and edit. So this time what I want? This time I want to match VPN 20 for all the routes. Action. VPN 20 should export to VPN 10. Save this condition. So 10, 20, 20, 10 default action, I can go and make this accept, save this policy. Now this policy is saved. That doesn't mean that this is applied. We can go to that policy that we have. I can go and click edit the older policy. Then you can go to the topology section. Already you have one policy, right? One control policy. That's the thing we should understand in Cisco policy. Cisco policy, one very important thing you should know, that at a time only one policy will be active. So that means if you have 10 control policy, 10 data policy, all these 10 plus 10, we need to call under one policy. Under one policy means that this big policy that we have, you have to call everything within that. That's one of the challenge we have, because you can't create different type of traffic redirection with different policy and apply it, activate it in the same time. So wisely we have to create the data policy, control policy, other policies, and club all those policy under same bucket. Okay. So now you can see that policy building, already I have one. multi-topology. Now I can go ahead to add topology and I can import the new policy that we have created. What is the name for that policy? Some multi-topology, sorry, route leak VPN 1020 import. Now you will see that we have two control policy, but it should be applied. This is applied to proper direction, proper place. This is not applied yet. So we can go to the policy application. Within that, you will see route leak. This also I want to apply, but this direction is inbound to all the branches and inbound to all the branches. That's right. Click add. And now we will do the preview. So now you will see the first we have the route leak policy, VPN 10, match all the routes, export to 20, VPN 20, match all the routes, export to 10, default action accept. Then we have other control policy that we have created earlier. And then finally in the bottom you will see that in the apply policy to all the branches, we are applying route leak in the inward direction and multi-topology policy in the outward direction. Now we can go and apply this. Now once you are applying this policy, you can come to vSmart, and if it is applied successfully, then you can see your policies. So I can see the policy route leak multi-topology. So that means that this application is in progress. We'll wait for a few seconds. Success. So now if you go here and go to branch 2, earlier we are getting this error. So 10 was not seeing 20 routes, but now if I press enter, it is receiving. So 10 is receiving the 20 route, right? So within VRF 10, we have 20 routes, right? Obviously coming from vSmart, putting it like that. Within 20, if you go, you can see the 10 routes. So if I go here and show OMP routes for VPN 20, if I check 10.3.10.2 or 10.0/24 tab, so we can see that now within 20, we are seeing 10 routes. This is because of route leak. We are seeing these information. Now it is receiving in the devices, over the devices, right? So this is the task that you can do. Now let me give you one task for yourself just to check that. Or maybe we'll discuss this later on this preference. Because this will become little bit difficult to understand in the same day. So let me pause the recording.